What is up, ladies and gents? I am the Guitarist 562 and I do video game guides and walkthroughs. We knew this day would come when we had to fight all three hypostases, and let me tell you, what an event! Waltz of Earth, Wind, and Thunder is by far the most fun and challenging event that I've played so far. But man, the limitations it puts on your characters is extremely noticeable. My suggestion is to keep your Pyro and Cryo characters such as Kaya, Amber, and Shangling for free-to-play users, and have the Elemental Resonance damage be consistent for the Enamel and Electro hypostasis. I say Kaya because you do no damage if you bring Lisa to the Electro hypostasis. An Electro character into the Electro fight basically means it's moot. You need all the characters that you can bring to do DPS. Even swap out the Electro character for Barba to keep your characters healed up if Noelle isn't enough. I would suggest keeping Noelle, however, for the Geo hypostasis. The limitation is that you have to fight all three without swapping characters for the next boss fight, because you have to fight all three. If you are a whale, you probably have better characters, so you don't really need this video, but this is intended for free-to-play players or players that just use the starter characters. With that said, we have to apply everything that we have learned. Brief recap. For every single hypostasis, you can only attack the hypostasis when they are vulnerable. Any damage inflicted when not vulnerable does nothing. Remember to have max points. You will need to do this in co-op if you are underleveled because the bosses scale to variation. This event was designed to challenge your character's growth, and unfortunately, the reality is at Adventure Rank 25, you won't do as much as just tickle the boss on Expert. Challenge yourself at the level you can for fun, and join co-op if you really want the max rewards. Remember, easy means level 20 bosses, normal is level 40 bosses, hard is level 60 bosses, which you can manage at Adventure Rank 35 and below. But Expert gives bosses a level 80 health pool, and it's massively different from 60, so don't be mad at yourself for not being able to complete the event, because remember, the event was meant to challenge various players and not cater just to everyone. With that said, I will paste the guides I have created over the week and edit them down to show you how to complete each section. Remember, the only thing different is to use characters that are suitable for all three bosses, so choose characters that can adapt for all three. The first pattern of the fight is dropping crystals. When they are broken, they create a wind current. I wouldn't advise breaking all of the crystals right away because you will need to break the floor crystals when you need to collect the orbs in the sky. Its second pattern will be to drop tornadoes, and they do massive amounts of damage on Expert, so save crystals until then or release the wind current just beforehand to safely dodge into the skies. Now, the third pattern here shows the Anemo crystals that the Anemo drops in its attempt to heal itself. If you broke too many crystals on the floor, you won't be able to have sufficient airflow to reach the rest of the orbs in the sky, and unfortunately, your fight will be more drawn out than it needed to be. It can heal itself even when it's not in the final phase, so be mindful when breaking the crystals on the ground. A fourth pattern the boss does is pull you in with a wind current. Try to time your dodge, and hopefully you will get lucky with your invincibility frames if you do end up getting caught. Otherwise, you're going to get bopped. You'll stay alive in easy mode, but most likely be dead in Expert. On that note, switching to Expert mode creates another pattern that happens, which is a Ropa Los Ceros. But to stop this move, you must use plunging attacks. Successfully plunge into the boss, and it should stop the moveset. A sixth pattern he does is creating shockwaves, and you can evade by dodging or just being in the air. Once enough damage is received, the final phase starts, where like before, you have to collect the Anemo crystals. The difference is you are given the wind currents and you have to grab all of the orbs, otherwise, as mentioned before, the Anemo heals itself and you have to repeat the process. Once you absorb all of the Anemo crystals, you should be able to finish off the boss with the next hit and you are done. If you allow the boss to trigger the crystals on the outskirts, it will cause a reaction which activates them to start shooting outwards. You can dodge most of the boss's physical attacks because they are predictable. If it decides to shoot you from distance, you can dodge and use your invincibility frames to not get hit. Just time your dodge for just before the Electro Orb reaches you. Remember, you can only attack the boss when it is vulnerable. Anytime it shows itself and is too far away, use your ranged characters, but if you do get the chance to get close, use your burst characters. To stop the hypostasis from reviving, you have to break the crystals, but remember, you can't break the crystals with physical damage, you have to use your elemental skills. Expert mode is the same battle but extra stress. Instead of one crystal being activated and attacking in a circular pattern, it's usually all of them. Remember that there is a big DPS phase that happens when the boss decides to shoot lasers. You can iframe the dodge so the lasers don't touch you, so you can actually get close and do massive combos. It's your best chance to do the maximum amount of DPS and clear the boss. You clear the challenge once you break all of the crystals, stopping the revival. Remember, this is a showcase. If you want to have higher scores, you have to be mindful of the variations that you use. Use Noelle to shield you when you need protection from its attacks, but to also give you a chance to heal yourself. Noelle is good at breaking the rock pillars. If you don't break the pillars, they will start blasting you with energy.
if the boss triggers them.
The last thing I need to note is that if you are unable to break the pillar, the boss will drop another rock. You can break that rock to give you a shield and let you focus on breaking the pillar.
There will be a phase to destroy the stones. Break them to move on to the next phase. You can break them by using your elemental skills. The last phase comes up and you have to destroy the rock pillars to prevent the geohypostasis from reviving. Break all 3 and you win. Remember to use Noel for this phase.
Thanks again for watching. I do my best to keep guides short and to the point, so if you enjoyed the content, please leave a like, sub, and comment some feedback, or just thank me for making the video. Socials are in the description box. Please follow my Discord, and stay blessed, folks. I'll see you next time.